Do you ever play games where you have to make a bet?
No.
Like gambling?
Well, solitaire.
I know Mac's
Okay.
a solitaire guy.
I do a little bit of
like-
solitaire. I haven't done it in a while. But yeah,
Oh, really?
solitaire.
You'll like make a wager in solitaire. That
Hell yeah,
say
he's
that's
back.
fair?
He's back.
Is that accurate?
He's back.
McKylan?
I love it. Mac's pissed. Understandably pissed to some degree, but he's back.
He's got the "I'm mad at your bad segue" face.
feel like there's a
dude.
better way to do it. I feel like
Okay.
there's a better one in you. You had a better one in you. Just like, you know what, Mac, I'll make a bet with you. Yeah,
All right.
I have a wager for you. And
Oh yeah,
Oh,
you could have
nice.
done it better. I will say this.
I just
book is-
expected more.
Yeah, the
I'm
book is
sorry to disappoint. Let's here take two. A game that I've been playing
What's that?
The Wager.
is the Sea of Thieves. Okay, fine. Sorry.
Okay, no,
All
go
right.
ahead, go ahead.
Yep.
Um,
What's the Sea of Thieves?
What's the
have you
Sea of
guys ever
Thieves.
killed a flower
Thieves.
moon?
No, that
Because
sounds
I don't-
sad.
the author of that book wrote this book.
Oh, really?
Okay, you're getting worse.
Hell
bro.
yeah.
You're getting
Yeah, no,
worse.
it's not getting
You're
better.
backsliding, but it's my
Okay.
fault. I shouldn't have.
Okay.
I shouldn't have brought that negativity to your. It was a
You
great
know what?
segment.
I think it's funny when there's an angry guy.
Well,
Good.
there's an angry guy in this because he shoots somebody in the face, very unprovoked. Welcome to
Not-
Bibliofools, everyone,
Not
and
well.
we're
He
in.
doesn't do it well.
Are
I
we?
just wanna-
Are
Do
you
we
on
stick
the other
the
guy's
landing on
side?
that
The
one?
fuck?
that was a great one. Evan,
I
you
can't wait to get
crushed
into
it.
this.
Thank you. Welcome to Bibliofools, show where we read books, so you don't have to. It's a favor that we do to you. You got a lot going on. You can't read every book. We're going to read all of them, and then you can listen to us tell you some of them. And that's a good compromise if I've ever heard one. I'm here with McKylan Rowe.
What's up? Oh man, I'm sick of reading and watching movies and stuff about fascism. I'm sick of it.
Dunshee, do you know it's bad? I'm here with Kyle Dunshee. You're
Yeah,
introduced.
fascism is
What are your thoughts on
objectively
fascism?
it's
Yeah.
bad. I'm against it. I'm against it in every way, shape, or form. Especially it's coming from inside the house, which is where it's coming now.
Yeah, I like
Whoa.
outside fascism where we can be like, look at that over there.
It's
bad."
like they're effing up over there. They're so stupid, and now we have to go save their butt. Who's gonna save our butt?
So all kind of things coming out of the house from inside the house. There's like a whole new ballroom
World.
wing nobody asked for coming
Yeah.
from inside of the house. I
yeah,
think.
just a data center.
Seriously, a data center that's poisoning our water, making our frogs a little ricky dicky. Oh, that's a different.
Making our frogs. Yeah. Oh, wait.
I got.
Want to know what I want to
confused.
do? I want to disappear onto a boat.
That's a segue.
Boy, oh
After you
boy.
read this boat, though, you will not want to disappear on a boat.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
this is
boat-
to remind you there is no escape. Everything's bad.
Well, let's all escape for a moment and just maybe picture yourself on a boat, the freedom of the seas all around you, ocean waves. You may hear some seagulls. You're relaxed. You got your Mai Tai. You're just sitting down on a chair of some kind, a comfy one. The boat we're going to read about today, not that boat. We read The Wager in 1740. A British warship called The Wager sets out to capture. Hold on, let me do. What's the guy's name? Frick. Okay. We read The
Potato.
Wager by David Grann.
Close.
What did you say, Mac?
Potato, I think
Potato.
is what he said.
It's not the author's name.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm bothered because I've been trying to get a book by Mr. Potato Head in this, and you guys refuse to read his works, and I think it's racist.
Mr. Potato Head has some hot takes, and I don't know if I'm ready for him.
I think you guys have a problem with root vegetables, and I don't appreciate it.
I think I have a
I'll-
problem with authors that have detachable noses.
Yeah.
Call me a racist. I don't know.
What's wrong with detachable noses, Evan?
I don't want to get into it. I'm going to get canceled. I told you
will
not to
say-
ask me questions about this.
On record, I will not read anything by a taro plant, sweet potato, or normal potato, and I'm not afraid to say that out loud.
There's taro
Rutabaga,
plant?
though? You're going to read the Rutabaga books?
No.
Monster.
The Rutabaga books. That sounds like a good. That's like a weird sci-fi novel
Yeah.
for sure.
We're
The
going to get
Rutabaga
to it
book.
for...
They
Rutabaga.
found how to make a potato fund the government, and now we are making our kids out of lampshades.
The Rutabaga Diaries starring Lou Bega. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody in the house. This is so dumb.
We got Hitler and Trump and Putin too.
Yeah, here, Lou Bega.
Well, The Wager covers a British warship called coincidentally enough, the Wager, in 1740, sets out to capture a Spanish treasure galleon. But hurricanes near Cape Horn wreck the ship on a frozen island off Patagonia. What follows is a real-life Lord of the Flies. The captain shoots a man in the face, factions form, and some resort to cannibalism. When survivors finally reach England years later, they tell completely opposite stories. Both groups face execution unless they can prove their version is the true one.
I do want to get this out of the way. The book is called The Wager. Mr. Wager.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm done.
A little Cuddy reference for us.
Little Cuddy reference.
Guys, so here's my thing.
Yeah.
That sci-fi is poisoned my brain. Take out this setup is the same. I'm like in my head. I'm just like, because it's so foreign to me. It just sounds like made up shit. I'm like a Spanish galleon is going around the Cape Horn. What the fuck is that? It's
You
just
tell him-
every time they would talk about certain words, I was just like, I'm not a man, I guess, because I don't know what these terms are. Like they were explaining what a
Yeah.
knot is, and I was like, that's what a knot is. It's
A
just a
knot?
knot.
It's a measure of speed with knots on a rope. Yeah.
Literal
just a-
knots.
It's just to say, did you tie the knots? How many knots is it? And they're like, what? And it's like, oh no, I'm asking how deep it is, but also, did you tie it? And I'm like, what the fuck? How do you communicate on these boats?
How am I supposed to know what you're saying? It's all
There's-
ropes on the boat.
I feel like you shouldn't have words that mean the same thing when you're on a boat. It's loud. Somebody could get hurt. Lots of people die. Everybody's got like fucking AIDS. I don't know. It's just a nightmare. This is a nightmare time.
It's not an AIDS boat, but that'd be interesting.
They have something though. Scurvy.
Scurvy's a little
Scurvy.
different than AIDS.
Yeah, we get into that.
You're right though, Mac. It does feel like otherworldly because you're on a British ship and they're going after Spanish treasure. And once they hunt down and find the Spanish treasure, everyone's going to be happy. And it's for a war you've never heard of. So it seems kind of made up, but it's all true.
And I didn't catch
is
that
true.
it was. I thought it was a war thing only. I didn't realize that they were just trying to rob some people. This is the worst heist you've ever
Yeah.
heard of. This is
It's
the
a-
Italian job. It's the opening of the Italian job.
This is Ocean's 10. There's a reason they didn't make a movie about
Ugh.
it. Well, David Gann,
This is the Italian job. I just want to point that out. I just realized that now. That's new. Edward Norton, Captain Crook, or whatever the fuck. And then
Oh yeah, I forgot Edward Norton's in that. Duh.
Jason Statham, Byron.
no. There's no way.
No,
He's too
dude.
like young and
Handsome
bright-eyed and
Rob?
bushy-tailed.
Byron?
Fine. He can be whatever. What Scotty Doe from Austin Powers. What's his name?
Seth
The
Green.
guy's Seth Green.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
He's
Little
the
Lord
Lord
Byron could be
Byron.
Seth Green. I like that.
Nice. Well, they do build like 3 little ships that they have to cruise
Little
around
Mini
on, like
Coopers.
Mini Coopers. I'm with you on this.
Charlize Theron. Some
Yeah,
of these
dude.
guys start looking like Charlize Theron when you're on this island for so long.
There are
Yeah.
no women in this book, just as a heads up.
Oh, yeah.
Not true.
Sorry.
There are
Not
the Native
one.
American ones.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
true.
They do get involved. Well, David Gann is oh man, I've been saying Gann this whole time. I think it's Grann.
Yeah,
Which
there's
one
an
is
R
it?
in there, man.
Uh-oh.
David.
Uh-oh. Which one did I write down versus
It's not a
what's
hard R,
true?
but it's an R.
I think it's a hard one, though.
It's a hard one to remember.
My
Nice.
bad. His book, Killers of the Flower Moon, became a Scorsese film starring Leonardo DiCaprio. For The Wager, Grann spent 3 weeks on the actual island where the castaways fought to survive, walking the same desolate terrain nearly 300 years later. He's the kind of writer who digs through moldy ship logs and court transcripts to uncover cinematic tales buried by history.
I didn't know he spent 3 weeks on the island because that's insane. Because there's it's just rock.
I think
Yeah, it
he
seems a
brought a
little
lot of
try-hard.
provisions.
He had
it
to
seems
have
like
brought
he's trying
stuff.
really hard to make it serious. I'm like, dude, you can just write about it.
Yeah.
You don't need to.
You could I would be impressed if he boated by the island. That would be impressive enough. But to stay there for 3 weeks is outrageous. You're
An
going to learn
hour.
that this island sucks.
Just give it an hour. I know
Yeah.
anytime I go anywhere within an hour, I'm like, don't want to be here. I don't need to spend. And you already know you have all these secondhand accounts. If you have all of this information because you've done so much research about how bad a place is, and then you go for 1 hour, the only thing you could be looking for is to be surprised. After that hour, you're not going to be surprised. You're like, this fucking cold and terrible. I'm getting out of here. Bye.
Whatever.
See ya.
I think you can research a place and how bad it is, and then, but living it, It's like a whole other thing,
This is
so
the
that
know?
third book that we've read about that, and I'm like, guys, it seems like everybody's doing it. Maybe just fucking do it from home. Like everybody's going.
I don't know. I love it. I respect it. Is it unnecessary? Probably. But if I had the funds, I'd do it.
It's cool. I don't want
It's
to.
cool.
It is cool. I just, as a lazy person, think stay home. I don't know.
There you go.
Just Google image like the rest of us. That's what we're
Yeah.
doing.
Well, speaking of the island,
Oh, are you talking about the Michael Bay film with Ewan McGregor and Scarlett Johansson?
Scarlett
about
Johansson, yeah.
clones?
I was going to
Great
talk
movie.
about organ harvesting for just a second. Quick
You know, it's okay.
cutaway.
It's a good idea. See, if you just make a complete other copy that can do everything that you can do, and you make sure that they're physically capable of like having their own identity, then of course the organs are gonna be better. Of course, and they're probably worth shooting up a bunch of civilians in 2025 LA.
Is it taking place in 2025?
It does.
Yeah, that movie did something to me sexually when I watched it as a little boy. I'm like, oh,
Ewan and those tight
Ewan
white
McGregor.
pants.
Yeah, that's right.
no, not
Uh-huh.
Ewan. Guys.
Michael Clark Duncan, R.I.P.
Yep. Yeah,
He's
when they
looking
dragged
good.
him away screaming, I'm like,
Oh yeah. I
strange
was like,
time. Strange time for my body to be reacting this way. No, it's not.
I don't know what this is, but I'm gonna follow. I'll follow this. I'll follow
The
this
movie's
dragon.
dark.
Where you want me to go?
Okay, it's 1970.
Well, similar to how the people in the Michael Bay film The Island were stealing people's organs, the Royal British Navy was about to steal some treasure from the Spanish. State-sponsored piracy is what we're about to talk about. So it is 1740. Britain is at war with Spain. The war is entirely pretext to get their stuff, which doesn't sound familiar because that doesn't happen anymore.
Not once. Did they ever consider if they would just go to Spain and I don't know, kidnap the Pope in the middle of the night, and then
Just snatch
boom,
him up.
and then you
Yeah.
just get the Vatican or whatever Spain is. I don't know. You just have
There's
it.
an
You
idea.
just have it. You could just have it.
Spain
I
doesn't
have
have the
been-
Pope, but the analogy is correct.
Well, the Navy sends 5 warships on what they think is a secret mission that the Spanish definitely know about to capture a treasure galleon, which is a ship that is loaded with silver. The catch, they have to go around Cape Horn, which is one of the deadliest stretches of ocean on the Earth. The wager is a beat-up ship crewed by men who don't want to be there. Literally, a lot of the crew was kidnapped to be in the crew. Just saying. They leave too late. They miss the safe weather window, which means they'll have to face Cape Horn at its absolute worst.
This is a dumb, drunk incest baby plan. Okay, I
100%.
all across the board. Sorry, Great Britain, but you know what you did. You know your history. All your
You know
leaders,
you
we're talking
fumbled. You fumbled in
your leaders are
1740.
disgusting. Yes, Spain, you're not much better, but like you look cooler. You gave us Antonio Banderas, so I give you a pass. But it's a dumb plan. Let's rob these guys that are right there. How do we rob
Yeah.
them? Let's go all the way around and surprise them from behind. That sounds like your buddy who just railed some lines in the bathroom stall, and he's just like, dude, we're going to start a business. What we're going to do is we're going to go, and we're going to take this guy's Maserati. Where's the Maserati, you asked? Nevada. Doesn't
Yeah,
make any sense.
Doesn't make sense. And also, to Evan's point, yeah, these guys aren't freaking volunteers. They have mobs of dudes going around finding guys that are like, you look like you could tie a good rope. You're going to be on this ship for the next 3 years. And they kidnap them. And every chance people get to escape, they leave. And so they have to kidnap more people. And eventually, they're just all on this boat, hating life together. And that's how it is.
Because it's just the biggest. In our version of this, in the book, it's very different. But in our version, it's a comedy. It's like Stripes. But at one point, I feel like they're just walking up to people like, "Did you tie your own shoes? Did you tie those, sir? He can't keep his head up. Can you lift his head up for me? I don't want to touch him. He's disgusting. Did you tie your shoes? Yes, you did. Come with us.
Come on.
This is not an exaggeration. It's going to sound like a bit, but by the end, they are putting people on stretchers and carting them out of hospitals and getting them on the boat because they're sick or they're like injured soldiers. It's the bottom
Also,
of the barrel.
Yeah, the sickness happens before they even get on the damn boat. Like, people are dying before they're on the boat. And
Don't they have like
Like,
typhoid or something? And they're
yeah,
like,
they have
"Oh,
something very gnarly. And they're
It is. It's a typhus outbreak.
yeah."
Yeah, before they even leave, and they can't leave because worms keep eating ships, and so they have to wait for those ships to get repaired before all of the ships. It's crazy. Yeah, there's like a huge body count before they even leave the harbor.
and
Terrible
the
plan
gall.
for a secret plan. We have this
Yeah.
big secret plan where we're kidnapping a bunch of people and we have 10 ships that clearly are waiting for something and we keep fixing them it's secret. You're never gonna know.
Get the
it's
hell out of here.
I like
Get
Mac's
outta here.
description. This is a what did you say? An incest baby plan. This was
Oh,
just
yeah.
it was
It's
whatever you
a
said was
stupid incest bait.
yeah, it's a stupid incest baby
not
plan.
good.
It makes no sense. There's no real reasoning behind it. And guess what? Basically, everyone's going to die. There are a few guys, though, who are happy to be there. And let's meet them.
Let's meet them. Captain David Cheap is happy to be there because he's something of a criminal.
Yeah.
He is a Scottish officer with debts, family drama, and a chip on his shoulder. So he wants to leave, and all he wants really is a chance to captain a ship. He's first mate on the wager. He just wants to captain the ship. So when the captain dies, he becomes the captain, finally gets his shot, and he's determined to complete the mission at any cost, even if it kills himself and his whole crew.
In my head, as I was reading it, like horrible things would happen, and I'd be surprised because the whole time I'm like, what is happening? These idiots.
But, like, yeah, David Cheap is, like, I think at one point, don't quote me on this, but they're like, he might have had a family, but we don't know because he left Scotland to avoid all his trouble. Very, very deadbeat.
Yeah.
And also to be a captain, like the ship sounds terrible, but to be a captain's a pretty good gig. Like you get to boss people around all day. You get a nice cabin, the nicest place on the boat, and you get pretty fat stacks after if you do your mission. So him wanting to be a captain, I'm like, that makes sense. But still
See,
terrible.
anytime somebody wants something that bad and seems shady, and they're just like, no, I left everything behind, and now I really want this thing. I'm like, you're not. No, you don't
Bad
get it.
person.
That's bad. You're bad. Like you can't. Like if there's a guy right there, he's like, I've been doing this for like 20 years. I'd like to be captain. I'd be like, okay, fine, you can be captain. But the guy who's like, this really seems like the last thing that will make me happy. It's like,
I know whose side you'd take, McKylan.
the book
Yeah.
takes the same side I'm taking. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he has the personality of somebody that's like, I don't really care for reality. I'm going to make this work. I'm going to make me the hero of this story. And that's going to cause some problems.
He has the vibe of a kid when like you're playing tag and they change the rules when you tag them.
Mid game, yeah.
It's that vibe. You get that energy where they're just like, actually, no, you can't do that. Because I'm team captain, you can't do that.
It's like when you're fighting them, and then they're like, "Oh no, I was actually not fighting that way, and you're breaking all the rules." Very like
Yeah.
Jake Paul. Actually,
Yeah.
no, I
Ooh.
kind of, but Captain David Cheap is a bit more redeemable at this
How?
point in the book because he's just a guy who wants to be captain, and that's all we really know about him. And he's got a shoddy past.
Here's one thing,
true.
David Grann. Good thing you spent all
David
that
Grann.
time in the middle of nowhere. Because you clearly picked a side and tell the story pretty heavily.
Oh, wait, you
from
think
that
so?
side.
I don't
Okay,
think
It
so.
feels
I
that.
actually think he
think-
walked the line pretty good.
I thought
I think
he
he
did too.
walks the line pretty good. He walks the line as good as he can, but the line, I don't know.
I mean,
the whole time you're just like, so this guy sucks. Like, because he describes the way he describes Cheap. I wish I would have written it down, but he'll be like this guy who just wants to get ahead in his career and he's obsessed with the Royal Navy and he wants to be a captain so bad. And then he'd be like, and then there's this guy. People really liked him. You know, everybody loved him. Like he describes how much everybody loved. So, like, he just is so much more positive. Yeah.
And you want to know who else walked the line? Johnny Cash. You know who's on this ship for cash? John Bulkley, the ship's gunner, a common sailor who worked his way up through skill alone. He's a devout Christian who keeps his sanity at sea by compulsively writing everything in his journal. He generally follows orders, but like any man, he's got a limit.
So he can't be a captain, like because of his class. There's no way he can be a captain, even though he has so much experience. Like there's just
John
no
Bulkley?
way. Yeah, John Bulkley. Like there's no way he's ever going to be a captain. Is that correct?
I don't think so. I think he could eventually be a captain, but gunner's pretty close to the top. That was actually like a huge job.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems like he's like one of the only other guys that has like a high rank. That's why he can garner so much power. I feel like.
Mhm.
As
Yeah.
you see in this book, it's about it. We've been setting it up a lot. Clearly, these two are pitted against each other in a Heat-esque Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, or The Rock, Kevin
Yeah,
Hart.
but it
just
doesn't.
two
Yeah.
titans.
Two, yeah.
Two titans of
King
industry.
Kong, Godzilla, me,
Mr. Potato Head.
No,
Oh, wait,
Mr.
what?
Potato-
What were we
no,
talking
Mr.
about?
me and Mr. Potato Head. It's because we have the same face. I just can't move mine.
It doesn't start that way though. These start like it starts as they go off in these 5 ships. Bunch of people die. David Cheap becomes captain after all these other captains die, and him and John are working pretty closely together, because they're making it work. And John follows orders, and he's doing his best. And so I will say to this book, I had no idea what was coming, and it just kind of evolved naturally, which I thought was pretty cool.
Also, John Byron, who is the grandfather of Lord Byron, the poet who inspired or challenged Mary Shelley to write Frankenstein. It all connects.
Isn't that
He's there.
crazy?
He's on the ship, and he's going out for his first time, and he's like from the upper class, so he's going to be an officer. And he's like, all right, this is where my sea voyage begins. And he's got big dreams of the ocean, and this book's about to turn his dreams into nightmares.
Yeah,
There
he's
is
a suit.
something I like reading about these books where you have like a Byron where he's like a 16-year-old officer or whatever, and there's like, oh, and there's like some free slaves on here. They can't ever be officers. So and it just
Yeah.
moves and it just
Yeah.
moves on and just like, God, I forget how bad things
Ooh.
are. And there's like, let me give you some context to show you how bad history was. It's like this
Yeah.
fucking loser poet, like poet grandpa, whatever.
Yeah,
Poet grandpa.
the class system in Britain has some deep roots because, and I think that's one reason, like John Byron knows, he's like, if I survive, I'm going to be an officer, like, because my family's rich. I'm going to be fine. I just need to kind of prove myself. But some of these other guys, like Bulkley and Cheap, they're like, we kind of got to grind a bit more than this spoiled kid. But just because he's
Yeah.
rich doesn't mean he's going to have a good time.
No. Well, on the way to do their state-sanctioned piracy, the squadron gets destroyed trying to round Cape Horn. Scurvy, which I learned what it actually was through this book and sounds horrible, turns men into like walking dead monsters. Their skin turns black, teeth fall out, old wounds reopen. Plus, it's hurricane season, and despite their best efforts to stay together, the ships separate in storm after storm. On May 14th, 1741, the Wager slams into rocks and starts breaking apart. 145 men escape to a tiny freezing island with almost no food, no idea where they are, and a captain determined to maintain authority and order.
I loved the section where they got into the crash because what was the other captain's name? Anson?
Yeah, the
Anson,
leader of the
Commodore.
whole thing. Yeah.
Right. He was just the coolest guy. And he just like, he was very Alexander Skarsgård in the film Battleship from 2012,
Ah,
where
also
he's
boats.
also
Yeah.
boats. But he's just like this like great dude who they're like, yeah, anytime we had any problems, we just like called to him. And then when they crash, the captain keeps saying like, maybe we can try to catch up to Anson. And they're like, we're not, he's gone. We're not
He's
gonna
gone.
get it.
Yeah.
He's just like,
Yeah.
he's got this boy crush right
Yeah, Cheap is the whole time. He's like, but we're stranded. We got to get back to Anson. And everyone's like, he might be dead too. What do you think is going to happen?
They probably crashed or are hundreds of miles away, you idiot. And he's like, but what if we found him?
But what if we found him? What if he exists? It's like, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
A bit for you geography nerds, and I know there's a few who listen to the pod. Cape
Mm.
Horn is the
Dude, you can name them.
yeah, I can name them. Our wives and maybe like 4 other people. Cape Horn is the bottom of South America,
Correct.
right in between. They call it the Drake Passage between Antarctica and South America. It's a very scary, very cold, dark place. They crash just barely north of that on the Chilean side.
On the west side, yeah.
On the west side, yeah.
Didn't we read a book about this exact same kind of thing happening in middle school, Kyle?
Something about this location, and it's not just because I watch Alone in Patagonia, which is a cool show. But no, it sounded all weirdly familiar. I'll give you that.
You've read Endurance.
Yeah, I've read Endurance, and Endurance was similar because they're in the Drake Passage a lot.
People just keep going down. Stop.
Yeah, they were just constantly like, "Who's gonna survive this? Who's gonna survive this?" And
This
like
is a
10
is
people.
If I could go back in time,
Yeah.
last thing I'm doing is shooting Hitler. First thing I'm doing is going to all these ship captains and being like, don't. The person you're robbing is over there.
Yeah.
Get some horses. We can walk. Like it
But
is
yeah, because
walkable.
it was part of like circumnavigating the globe. Is you had to do that. Is my understanding. Like that was part
You
of it. And
didn't
so,
have to do
well,
it.
if you want to circumnavigate
literally
the
did.
globe, you literally do. But you're right. No one has to circumnavigate the globe.
The Earth's flat. Why are we trying to circumnavigate a plate? You know what
Mac,
I'm saying? Like,
you-
just stay where you're at.
So, yeah.
America wasn't around to cut a giant channel through Panama.
Panama,
yet.
yeah.
So this was the only way at the time.
Yeah, is to
Panama.
go to the bottom of the damn world and hope you survive. And so,
And
yeah, they're
face off with like 100-foot waves. They call them the Cape Horn rollers because there's nothing to stop them. They just go around in circles like the freaking interstellar waves, dude.
yeah,
They're like
those aren't
100 feet
mountains.
tall, just freaking. Oh man, it is a legit item on my bucket list to sail around Cape Horn.
Yeah, no, I think the locations because these are guys used to Great Britain, which doesn't have the best weather, is my understanding. I don't know, I've never freaking been, but like they're not used to borderline Antarctica weather, and they're in a wooden ship, and half their crew, I think like this is not an exaggeration, half their crew is already dead from scurvy. They've watched
Yeah.
them literally fall apart before their eyes, and so now they're like, now we got the most dangerous part, and they crash.
Scurvy, by the way, being you are totally correct. I didn't acknowledge anything that you just said. That's my bad. You said scurvy, and my brain went, I need to talk about
Yeah,
that
we need to
because
talk
it's
about that.
crazy. That is when you don't eat any fruits or vegetables, and you're just eating salted meat, which is basically all they had, and your body doesn't have the nutrients to make collagen anymore, which sucks because collagen holds your entire body together. So it just starts falling apart. It just starts ripping apart. The tissues just don't adhere anymore. And they didn't know what caused it because they were like, when you go on land, the scurvy goes away. So they thought there was something like mystical or cosmic about touching land. They were like, oh, we got to get to land and like spend a little time there so we don't get scurvy. Can you imagine how confusing that would be?
Yeah,
I'm confused now.
they're like it's what happens when you go on ships. Half the people die and their bodies fall apart. And David Grann, this sassy little guy, he's like, the crazy thing is, before they had the scurvy outbreak, they went and stopped on shore, and had they just grabbed a few limes, they would have been fine. But instead, they probably just got liquor or more bread, and so now half the crew's dead.
And actually, did you know, fun fact, I just looked this up while we were talking. I was
Nice.
listening though. David
Yeah.
Grann himself gave himself scurvy 3 separate times to write this book.
Because he wasn't
That-
done yet. And he was like,
He
shit, I
was
got to
like,
get
"I
scurvy
gotta-
again.
It's just missing a little something.
Oh,
So
man.
he gave himself and his wife scurvy, his first wife.
How are you going to write about scurvy if you've never had scurvy? Come on,
You
dude.
can't. Here's my thing. I don't think people can write stuff if they don't experience it. That's not
Yeah.
how things
That's
work.
not how it works. You're not being genuine.
What do you think James Cameron has been doing at the bottom of the ocean? He's living the Titanic.
And
You're making a
banging
good point,
Navi.
actually.
He's banging blue sea witches, and the abyss is about his divorce. And it's very clear.
Yikes, James. Yikes.
Okay.
True Lies rips, though.
Yeah.
So yeah, sorry to round it up. Sorry, because we talked about the crash, and the crash is very important. But
Crashes happen.
they're pretty they're in a bad state before the crash even. So like
Yeah.
you're just like, oh, another thing, cool.
They hope the island's got some safety for them, but the island turns out to be a death trap. Freezing rain, almost no animals to hunt, impenetrable forests. The men start starving within days. A gang of sailors breaks into the liquor stores and causes chaos and is stealing a bunch of food and stuff. So Captain Cheap responds with brutal punishments. 600 lashes for stealing food, which have to be done over a couple of days so that you don't die. And then they exile them to a barren rock. When indigenous Coescar people arrive in canoes, they're the castaways' only hope. But the rebellious ruffians try to seduce their women, so the Coescar vanish one morning, taking their survival knowledge with them.
I have a lot to say about this paragraph. Mac, I want to hear your thoughts first.
That part of the book, because it's like salvation. These people come, they live here, they know
Yeah.
how to do the stuff. And of course, these freaking turd bags, these stacks of human excrement, which is all that they are, because all the scurvy.
Because they're scurvy.
They like the people are so cool and have dogs and are like, yeah, we'll help you. They couldn't speak the language, but they're like, what's up? And they like build hats. They build all these cool huts out of like bark that they carry around. They're the dopest people ever. They cure everybody's scurvy with like melons, and they can dive super deep. Just the Navi roll up and that's productive, but they like roll up and are so cool and awesome. And then they just like look over, and of course, some fucking dick with legs is just like, what's your name?
Hey,
And hey,
you come here
Hey.
often?
name. Have you ever heard of chamber music? You ever heard chamber music? It's pretty good. I see you guys with those flutes. Flutes pretty cool, but you see how I don't have any teeth in my mouth? You could be like me. Would you fuck me? fuck me.
Oh
And
man,
then
this
just
guy's
one of the
getting.
other
I hate this guy, dude.
and then one of the Quetzalcoatl, whatever, one of the guys is just sitting there and he's just like, let's wrap it up. Let's get out of here. These guys are creeps. Let's go.
Yeah, no good.
They leave a dog and they eat the dog. And I'm like, of course they left. You're fucking trash. You should die on this island.
Yeah, Mac, you summed it up really good because they were their salvation, and then they f it up. They f it up, and so they're like, we don't need this. We don't need these gross white people. We're gonna go our own way. And you're right. They do leave a dog, which Byron becomes like super attached to, and then one day the guys come in and they're like, we need your dog. And he's like, why? And they're like, you know why we need your dog. And they take the dog out and they kill it and eat it. And he's so sad. And then he just goes out and he starts eating it too because he's starving. How's that?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what happens when you just interbreed with your cousin. So,
Speaking of cousins, a midshipman named Henry Cousins, Byron's friend. Did you do that on purpose?
I didn't, but that's awesome.
Oh my gosh! With the accidental segue,
That was an alley-oop.
I just want
Guys,
to.
we're like the '96 Bulls.
Breathe
We got
this in right
we
now.
got Jordan over here. We got Kyle's obviously Iverson.
I thought it was Larry Bird.
I don't know anything about them. I don't know anything about them. I don't know.
We are on
sports.
fire right now.
And
I
then
do-
Carl Malone coming in
Carl
from deep.
Malone. But I want to talk about the punishment for stealing for a bit. Stealing on this island is a very big deal. You're putting everyone's life in jeopardy. And Cheap is like, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you, but I'm gonna prolong it as long as I can. So I'm gonna whip the shit out of you. You're already frail, and then you can go die on this island. And the punishment is so shocking and severe that even the guys who are so mad at these people for stealing food, after a while, they're like, we can stop whipping them. And Cheap's like, nah, stole the food, stole
What
the
are you
liquor.
gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
Well, this
is where our
when-
guy starts to kind of show up because he's
Yeah,
like, "What
this
if
when
we
our boy-
don't do this?"
What if there's another
this
way?
guy.
Bill Murray walks in, just like, "Hey, come on, guys. Hey, listen. Come on. Come closer.
It's like just devil's advocate.
Devil's
Nah,
advocate?
this guy seems crazy. Who's with me?
What if we? Because I love he's like, maybe we shouldn't do the lashes. Maybe we just exile them. And
Yeah.
Sheep's like, you know what's interesting about that? If we did both.
Yeah,
Because he just can't compromise because he has to be the captain. He's the queen's captain or whatever, the king. Who cares? It's so stupid. You guys are losers.
Mac once again hating England. Yeah, Bulkley has like
just in the
reasonable.
past, the new people are cool.
In the new Brits, cool. But like Bulkley is coming. He's like, I want to work with you, Captain. And he's like, and I have some solutions. And people naturally want to follow me. Like, but I want to work with you. And Cheap's like, no, I'm the captain. Are you the captain? No, I'm the captain. I thought I was captain. So we're gonna do whatever I want.
It's the craziest thing. You're saying stuff like you're the captain, and you're just not the fucking captain.
But he's
Shut
like-
up and go sit down.
And and at some points he goes back to like his little tent and he's like, these are the signed orders by Daddy Anson that says I'm in charge. So
Yeah.
you best abide, boy.
Do you have this piece of paper with your big old house? He has a bigger house, a bigger shelter than him, and
Yeah,
she's
he
just
does.
like, put him in charge. It's like he clearly knows better. Just listen.
I know. He's the kid on the playground
Yeah.
showing off his like recess monitor badge. He's like, you guys have to do what I say. That's what's happening right now. And there's also a drunk guy named Henry Cousins, Byron's friend. And
Yeah.
he's real nice, but when he gets drunk, he's a nightmare. So he does get drunk one night and insults the captain. Days later, he gets in a fight and accidentally shoots his gun. Cheap hears the shot and thinks he hears somebody say the word mutiny and jumps to conclusions. He finds Cousins, puts a pistol to his cheek, and pulls the trigger. Cousins survives, but 14 days later, he dies after the surgeon took quite a long time to be able to operate on him, allegedly because Cheap purposefully delayed, just hoping he would die before he could be operated on. Finally, it gets suspiciously long, and he's like, okay, fine, operate on him, and it doesn't work. The gunner, Bulkley, collects the bullet as evidence and is writing in his journal this whole time, and finally frames the shooting as a bridge too far. The men start planning to overthrow their captain.
It is a bridge too far because you can't just go out
because it's murder.
because you can't just
Yeah.
shoot a guy in the cheek. Number one, talk about suffering. You're already starving. You're on an island. You got one guy who does medical care, and the whole thing is I just cut off limbs. And he shoots him in the cheek. The bullet gets lodged like in his head, and he's just like that for 14 days till he finally dies. I can't think of anything worse. And the whole time, Cheap's like, I was justified. I was justified in shooting that man in the face. It's not a big deal. And Bulk is like, I'm writing all this shit down, dude. You don't even
Yeah.
know.
Which I also sometimes wonder because a lot of that stuff comes from Bulkley. Like he's like, naturally, people just started paying attention to me. Like even Byron, just like he was a cool guy, but like Byron never really talks about him like that. But in his journal, he's like, for some reason, people are following me. So I'm like, there could be a little bit of like, come on, guys, come on, no, come on, like camp leader
Yeah.
kind of energy where he's like, no, I have candy, I have good stuff, I got the good
Yeah.
stuff. Come here, like he has that energy. So it could be a lie. He just like maybe is just like a narc that journals a lot and sucks too. I had that thought a lot. He
Yeah,
could be that guy.
he's really like the journal is his ace up the sleeve where he's like, no one else is keeping a journal. And so once we get back, what I say goes because I'm keeping a journal. I think it's a little bit of both. I think people are naturally drawn to him, but I also think he's like, it's crazy that everyone wants to hang out with me when I'm asking them to hang out with me all the time. It's crazy.
It's so
Yeah.
weird. I just keep having things people need and doing things for people, and they just follow me around.
They just
because
follow
I
me.
have what
Yeah.
they need, and I do stuff for them.
I got
all
the
the time.
charisma. He's like, I am the Riz man.
Yeah, and then Cheap is over there like a deadbeat dad, just being like, "No, but in this marriage, we're both in charge, right?" And it's like, yeah,
Nobody's listening to me. But yeah, you did talk about how Bulkley, like, he found a Robinson or like a Swiss Family Robinson house, a Tarzan house, if you will. Like, he just found one and it's huge. And Cheap's like, oh man, why does he get the big house?
Because Cheap, being the little bitch he is, he sets up the tent. He sets up his shelter first, and then Bulkley's like, I can make a much, much better one.
Does
Like,
he make it? I thought he
yeah, I
found
think he
it.
doesn't.
He
Doesn't
makes
he?
it.
Yeah,
No,
I think actually
he
Cheap
fashions
is.
it out of stuff. Like he's
Yeah,
like
he
goes
fashions
over
it.
and makes his own thing.
He like turns a boat over so it's a lot sturdier than Cheap's, and it's a lot bigger. And Cheap just can't abide by the fact that the guy who's not the captain has the better hut.
That's
and
pretty
it pisses him off.
intimidating. I think Bulkley won right there. I think he was like, I'm going to build this house and everybody's going to know who's boss. And that's what happened.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's also that thing of like, if just a rule of thumb is rules are not enough. You can't, any situation you're in where you start being like, but the rules say you're fucked. Like, because the person who
Yeah.
does not want the rules is gonna win. Because if they can just do with like Cheap probably could have done a lot of good stuff because he does cool stuff like he like stayed on the boat till like everybody left, but I think that was out of selfish reasons because he was just so sad that he lost his job forever now. Because like once you crash a boat, you don't get to be captain ever again.
Yeah.
So good
Dude,
job, buddy.
It's not even like that either. He's like bad about that even. It's annoying because he's like, I'm the captain. I got to go down with this ship. And they're like, Captain, the ship is wedged between two rocks. It's not actually going to sink. It's like going to stay right here. And he's like, but I have to be the last one off. And those guys won't leave because they don't want to leave. They don't want to go to the island. And they're like, we are trying to get them to leave. You can leave, though. They had the opportunity to leave. You can get off the boat. He's like, a captain always goes down with his ship, damn it.
They're like, it's
And they're
not
like,
going
"Dude,
down.
We need some help on the island. Most people are on the island. Will you help?"
Can you lead the
Yeah.
people on the island? And he's like, okay, I will. But can you
Okay.
set my house up first? And then
Yeah.
nobody's allowed inside my house. I will watch them build their houses from my house.
Yeah.
Cool?
That-
Does that work
that's
for
everybody.
everybody? And
We're
they're
gonna
like,
leave
"But
these guys.
can you help at all? No, I
Yeah.
cannot. The rules say I have this piece of paper here that says I'm not
See,
supposed to.
Daddy
Yeah,
Anson
it's-
said,
You see that?
Yeah, correct.
I do like the guys on the crew who, when the ship sinks or like crashes, they're immediately like, there are no rules anymore. And so there's a group of, they call them like renegades, who stay on the ship for a bit and then they finally come back onto the island. And then some of them just leave. There's like, we're going to go start our own place. And like, you never hear about them again because they obviously die. And I'm like, good for them. They made
Which
their
that
choice.
that's where I was like, that would be me. I was
Yeah.
like, that's totally that's a Mac move right there. Just like fuck you guys and all your rules. I'm gonna go do my own thing. Except for in my version, it's like there's this weird king of this island off the south coast of Cape Horn. It's super bizarre. That's my version in my head. My life,
You
but I
become
think
John C. Riley from King Kong Skull Island.
Yeah.
I've
you're
never
just
related to a
rocking
character
that
more.
shit.
These are some good boys. You're all gonna die.
Well, Bulkley, I guess, I mean, I should have done a little trivia question here. They build a longboat to leave. Guess who builds it? Not
Bulkley.
cheap. Bulkley builds the longboat, but they fight over where to go. Cheap wants to sail north and rejoin the mission. He's like, I have to get back to Daddy Anson. Bulkley wants to sail to Brazil. So he wants to get like navigate through without going around Cape Horn again, which is possible. The Magellan Strait, I guess you
Mhm.
can kind of weave through, but it's crazy. Uh, Almost everyone is like, Bulkley's plan, that's the good one. And on October 9th, his men storm Cheap's hut at dawn and arrest him. They abandon him on the island with a broken boat and almost no food. After leaving with Bulkley, young Byron, torn between survival and honor, he turns around. He gets a little far with him.
Dumb little bitch. Bulkley gives Cheap so many opportunities before he goes and does that. He's like, "Hey, I've been talking to the boys. We don't like this idea. Will you sign something that says that like we're good because we want to give you the opportunity?" He's like, "I'll think on it. I'll think on it." After a few days of not thinking on it, then they storm it and do the mutiny. It's not like I'm a angry bad person and I want the power. He gives him plenty of opportunities. And then Byron also goes along. He signs something that they all sign saying, Cheap is not doing a good job. We need to go. But Byron feels bad. So he goes back and stays with freaking Cheap. And I'm like, you wishy washy little bitch.
I just will always I equate it to the moment in Men in Black when they're all trying to write on their little pads and there's a table there, and so he just goes and
Uh-huh.
pulls the table. And
Uh-huh.
it's like that's the key to like get ahead. Like just like all the weird like, but he's the captain. It's like, no, who knows how to do something? That guy's in charge. That's just
Yeah.
how things work.
And
Like,
there are a lot of guys who have that mindset where they're just like, he was the captain, but we're not on a boat anymore. So like, where do things stand now? And they have
Yeah.
questions, but Cheap is like, nope, nope, nope. I'm still the captain. I'm still the captain. Daddy Anson said so. And so a lot of people are like, I don't know if that applies anymore. They rationalize it, and then there are the guys who are just like, no, you're a bad captain. I'm going to do whatever I want. So it is interesting to see the different groups of people, because there are people like you, Mac, who are just like, nah, no, this is stupid. Like that's a title. That doesn't mean anything. Um,
I think that's how you
Yes.
should be. I think that's just a good way. Like you should know all the rules and you should be able to follow them. But the second that you need to do something because it would be better, you should be able to break the rules. If you're like like shackled to the rules like they're fucking law, that's dumb. You shouldn't do that.
Yeah, because the map is not the territory. It's
No.
like sometimes things change and you got to roll. And if you're not rolling and it's getting people killed and you're shooting people in the face, it's like we should reevaluate these rules. And they do it by the book. Like
mhm.
Bulkley's
Yeah.
keeping his journal and he's leaving a paper trail and he's like, look, he shot somebody, okay? So we tied him up and then we left because we being alive is better. Like we don't have to get what are we going to do? Build a longboat and then sail around, get back into Cape Horn, and then somehow like meet up with the ships that left us 30 days ago and then successfully take over a Spanish galleon? That's
Yeah. And
Cheap's
then
plan.
be
And they're like, we
pirated.
don't want to do that.
I forgot
Yeah.
that's Chief's plan. He's like, with our ragtag crew, we're gonna take over a whole Spanish galleon. And they're like, you're stupid. We haven't eaten in 12 days. What do you think's gonna happen?
Which is good of
Yes.
them. I would have been like, somebody shoot him. He broke his pelvis by falling like
Oh, yeah, he
earlier
did. We didn't
before
talk
this all
about
that.
happened.
Broken
We didn't really
pelvis.
talk about it. But like the second he's like, no, we're gonna go back and we're gonna take those damn Spaniards' money because we are the men of the king, right? We love the crown. I'd just be like, kick out his cane
No.
from underneath him
Be like,
and just
oh
be like,
no.
no, do you see this rock? It fell off that hill. Okay, anyways, let's move
Man,
on.
that's a lot
That
of
was
blood.
weird.
Should we go? Yeah,
Yeah.
Buckley,
exactly.
why don't you jot that down? He fell.
Jot
He
that down, will
fell.
you?
And then he fell. They're like, that's it. He's like, that's it. I swear to God.
That's all.
He
Well,
fell real hard 5 or 6 times.
well, the story now splits into two branches. Bulkley leads 81 men through 3,000 miles of treacherous waters. Only 30 survive to reach Brazil and eventually England, where they're hailed as heroes because Bulkley got to tell the story.
So there's one guy who gets everyone is screwed in this book. There's one guy who gets screwed more than anybody. He's a
Right.
freed slave who joins them on like his own free will. He goes with them and he's in Bulkley's crew. And at one point, some guys, including this freed slave, go off on land to look for food. And then because of the water or something, they can't go back to get him. So they have to leave him stranded. And what likely happens to this guy, this freed slave? he gets found by the Spanish and re-enslaved. That
I
pisses me
forgot
off
that they
so
had
bad.
I forgot that they had slaves. Oof. Never
Yeah,
mind.
well,
I take back what I said about the slave or about the Spaniards. Shit. Shit. History's a nightmare. It's just a bunch of
It's
bear
really
traps.
bad.
It's bear traps everywhere.
brutalizing the natives everywhere they could, and if they saw someone who was just a little bit dark, they're like, "Oh, cool, you're a slave." And they're like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah, you're our slave now. That's how it works."
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna teach you your
manifest
first word
destiny.
in English. Slave.
Slave.
Yeah, they're in Buenos Aires, and it's like a whole group, and they're like, "All right, you guys, nice work. You got all the way up here. You guys were shipwrecked. That's crazy. Do you guys need food? You need shelter, provisions? All right, you guys are set. Okay, bye." He's staying though. That guy,
Yeah,
he's gonna stay, and that's what happened. And then, like, he didn't write a record or anything, but you can see, like, he definitely got kidnapped and then was a slave. It
after
sucks.
surviving all that shit just to be
Yeah.
re-enslaved. That makes me
And
so
and
mad.
that was hanging over him the whole time too. He's like, as soon as they got shipwrecked, he was like, "Oh no! Like if we can't, I have to get all the way back to England, or I'm screwed."
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one safe zone on the globe for me,
Yeah.
Not good. Well,
and he doesn't find it.
No.
no, he doesn't. Bulkley, though, sorry, there's no good way to segue away from it, and I'm just going to lean into that fact.
Just lean into
Bulkley,
Yeah, yeah.
the free man, is back in England, and he published his book of his journal, and so that was a pretty savvy move, if you ask me. Cheap spends years escaping. He does try to connect back with Anson, and he goes like up the kind of coast of Chile. They got to leave a bunch of people behind, and they have years of travel, but they finally do get captured by the Spanish and held as prisoner. They don't kill them. It's crazy. The Spanish just like they're prisoners, and then prison gets kind of cushy. It gets like a Scandinavian prison where they can kind of walk around, and they're like, you just can't leave Spain. And then eventually they're like, you can go home now. I'm like, what the heck, Spanish? Because you know who actually sealed the deal and got the job done? Daddy Anson. He and his he lost all of the other ships. It's Anson and like a ragtag crew. They're down to nothing. They don't even have enough people to fire all the cannons. So they have guys running up and down the cannons, like lighting several fuses at a time, and then they're like resetting them all, but it's only on one side because they don't have enough for the cannons on the other side. They got the freaking galleon. They took it down. That was the part that I was like, wait, what? Maybe I don't know
Yeah.
how these ship battles work. That's crazy. They captured it. And then they like snuck in there before they could even blow the ship because the Spanish were like, if they for some reason board the ship, you got to blow it so it all goes down. And they just don't. Like the Spanish really dropped the ball at every possible turn in this book.
And it kind of makes you realize why Cheap has such a hard on for Anson because he's doing some
He
pretty
did
cool
it.
stuff.
Because he's a dope guy. That guy is sick.
Yeah. Yeah. So, my goodness. Yeah, that part blew my mind. That was the part where I was like, are we sure this is nonfiction? I don't
Yeah.
understand how this works.
It is
Um,
kind of dumb how though. Yeah, he gets Chief gets captured by the Spanish, and they're mortal enemies the entire book. And they're just like, I guess after a bit you can go. We don't care.
Did you
Like,
have anything to do with all of our treasure getting stolen? Yeah, that was us. All right, you can go home.
you
What?
can go. Seriously.
I don't get it. But he gets home and he's like, oh, there's a book about how I'm a murderer. This is not good. A court martial is scheduled, and on the fateful day, something strange happens. Neither side makes any accusations. There's sort of an unspoken bargain where they're like, you don't accuse me of anything. I won't accuse you of anything. Everybody lives if everyone stays quiet. And the British Royal Navy also benefits because they get to bury the scandal.
Because it would look so bad if this came out that the civilized people of Britain crashed and became cannibals at some points, and like it would just really hurt their reputation as we're God's gift to the world. For the rest of the world to realize we're just as bad as everyone else. No, we're so much worse at this point in time. But yeah,
Yeah, I think that's where I was kind of like, Buckley is clearly the hero, like in this book.
Yeah.
yeah,
But towards like the end of it, I started being like, maybe Cheap was just like hurt and like everybody was being crazy and he was just kind of like outgunned and outmanned and he was like, all right, fine, go. Like he wasn't that bad. Like this is where the way this podcast feels with me just making a switch randomly right at the end. That's how I felt about the book. Like when I heard that he went on like this years long journey and stuff, I was like, what if Cheap was like not that bad? He was just kind of like,
Yeah.
hey guys, like maybe we shouldn't do that. And then they're like, we're gonna fucking kill you. And he's like, and shot him in the face, and then like he died. And he's like, okay, well, okay, let's just try to get out of here. Like he was just kind of sheepish, and like he got bullied. Like
Yeah,
it's a fascinating. You can see it from both sides. Better at the end, I would say, once you kind of like
Yeah.
sit and think
Mhm.
about it. Throughout the book, it's like, dude, this Buckley guy is fucking
Buckley's,
dope,
yeah.
and Cheap is a loser.
Yeah, one thing about this book is I thought when you read the title, which is The Wager, A Tale of Shipwreck, Mutiny, and Murder, I thought the two guys, the captain and whoever was doing the mutiny, would be a bit more extreme instead of just like at the end of the day, they're just like, we don't need to tell on each other. Like, let bygones be bygones. And that's how it ends. I'm like, what? That's
Yeah.
Well,
insane.
and that's what made me not trust Buckley is when he was like, well, I'm not gonna tell on him. I was like, that's not honor. I feel like you were shady too. I feel like there was a little bit of
Some
like
shady.
Yeah.
some like bullying and like like I think it was much more of like like that thing Tom Hardy does where he doesn't look at you when he puts his hand on the guy's shoulder in The Dark Knight and he's like, you're
Yeah.
feeling charged. Like I feel like it was some of that where the guy was like,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make sure we get home, and he's like, I'm taking the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
You
had
know?
some guilt, or else because they would just kill you. If you mutiny was so heinous a crime that you couldn't even say the word
Mhm.
mutiny. It was like a crazy and they'd keel haul you, which is the worst thing you can
Oh.
do to a person.
Next to
Explain it,
shooting them
describe
in the
that.
cheek. But
Oh.
anyway.
So they tie a rope to your wrists, and it's a big long rope, and then they somehow get it around the ship and tie the other end to your feet. And then they pull the rope so you go down under and it just scrapes you along all of the barnacles underneath the ship. And you're getting like torn up, and it's like question mark whether when you come up you're actually going to be like alive or even in one piece. And then it's like if you survive that, it's like, okay, great. You've
Stop
been
using that
keel
word.
hauled.
Don't say
Yeah.
Voldemort on this boat.
Serious.
Not good. I wouldn't say it if that was the punishment.
Voldemort? Yeah, it sounds like a slur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, don't say Voldemort. What the hell is Voldemort? What the fuck?
I mean, based off of who wrote the book, I'm like, I think that's a mean thing to certain groups of people. But
Yeah, that's fair.
but no, that it's yeah. I think that
Cheap
Buckley
could have
was up
just
to
said the word.
yeah.
Cheap
He
could
could
have
have just
said
been
the
like,
word.
they did a mutiny on me. I think that there was some shadiness.
Had to
There's
be.
a shady thing that
Yeah.
happened on that island where like they tried to do a mutiny, but like and like Cheap fought him off, and then they like did like let him live, and he was like, since you guys let me live, I won't say shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something like that.
there's
You know
no
what I
doubt that
mean?
Bulkley was influencing the narrative the whole time because he
The
knew
whole thing.
like
And
He wrote it.
he wrote
Byron
it.
stops talking. Like Byron's just like, oh, anyways, I feel like the trees were pretty cool. Like he's not
Yeah.
he stops really giving detailed accounts
like-
of like exactly what was happening, and it's a lot more just like the poetry of like what he's going through. And I'm like, I
Yeah,
think
he's like, I was real bummed out when they ate my dog, and then I saw them eating peoples. That was a real bummer.
well, yeah, they glaze over the people eating because they're like, maybe there is some cannibalism.
Some guys ate some other guys. It was a big whatever.
That Cheap guy sucks, huh? Isn't he bad?
But we really shouldn't have left him behind. That was kind of
too
mean.
bad. That was too
Oh
bad. We shouldn't
shucks!
have
In
left him
hindsight,
behind.
what saw we?
Oh, I wrote that whole book about how bad he was, and then he showed up.
I wrote a
Oh.
whole damn book about it.
Dang it. Dang it.
Could you imagine slandering somebody and then they show up and you're just like, what's up, man?
Ooh.
You're like,
Oh.
what's up, dude? We're
Hey.
cool, right? We're cool.
It's like that
And-
movie
and-
with Jake Gyllenhaal where he cucks Tobey Maguire and then he comes back from the
Ooh.
Iraq War and he's just like, did you sleep with my wife?
Toby's not happy.
Are they
in that
brothers
movie.
in that one?
Good guess because the movie's called Brothers.
But they're not?
No, they are. Yeah, they are. You nailed it.
Okay, cool.
Somebody called Daredevil because I found Bullseye over here.
Nice. I don't get it.
I gotta stop doing that laugh. It makes me cough every time.
Cheap goes on to have a successful naval career and retires wealthy. Although his obituary still does mention that one time he shot a guy. Bulkley,
Which is so funny.
they
Because
just
he
stuck
did
it in
everything
there.
he wants, caveat, but he shot a guy once.
He did shoot a guy.
Bulkley moves to Pennsylvania and then vanishes from history. We don't know what happened to him.
Oh, he stopped writing all his journals.
Apparently.
Well, once he's like, I'm not under the queen's hoof anymore, the queen's thumb, do whatever I want, America, and I
Actually,
can
her
stop
thumb
writing
is a
journals.
hoof. I don't know if you know this, but she does have a hoof thumb because of incest.
A little goat got in there. We don't talk about it, just like the cannibalism.
Bad queen. Sorry. The biggest winner is
Thank you.
Commodore Anson, who captures the treasure galleon. We talked about this. And then somebody writes his official history, and that somebody is him, like whispering in the ear of a ghostwriter to make him the hero of the whole story, which, I mean, let's be real, he was.
Yeah, he was.
And-
But I love how they track down. They're like, who wrote this? Who had all these insights? And then they find out it was just Anson
It's just
telling the guy
Anson.
what to write exactly.
I do feel like,
Oh,
again,
man.
like it's just like a perfect example of history of just, there's a lot of times when just some guy, some rich guy is just like, remember that time I was dope as fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what'd you say? And he's like, I don't know if you know this, but I sailed around Cape Horn all by
That's right.
myself. Did you guys
see
hear about that?
Yeah.
Do you have any proof? I was on the boat.
I was on the boat. I was there.
It was all me, buddy. I was on that boat.
Actually captured a Spanish galleon at the end, which is pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
Me and 4 other guys.
Yeah, guys
Yeah.
running around,
Running
lighting
around.
things.
Where was I during all of it? I was captain of that damn boat. You know
Captain
that.
of the boat.
You know that for sure. Hey, how about you write this down? Hero. I'll spell it for you. Anson. You heard that right.
Yeah. So he is badass, but it's also funny. It makes you question how badass he really was if he had to like write his own secret history about how badass he was.
I'll tell you one thing right now. If I wrote a book about myself, I did some cool shit.
Yeah.
McKinley can fly? I didn't know that. That's insane. I thought that was impossible.
It's the Dan Cummins bit where he's like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
actually had to fight bears while I was doing it.
Oh,
And I was like, he's like, man, you must have been catching a salmon a minute for an hour. He's like, I was just slapping them to shore. and
Slap it on the shore. Dude. Whoop up, slap it right to shore. Go right back at it.
wade into the river using my ankles that are as strong as a team of stallions. I love that
Yeah,
bit, dude. It's my
I love
favorite
that.
one. Okay, well, the result of all of this is there's a lot of histories written by the people who are trying to make themselves look really good, and all of them conflict, and there's no legal resolution. The British didn't like weigh in on it. So we really have no idea.
Yeah.
David Grann, this is his whole point. This is the story, the meta story that he's telling is that we all tell ourselves we're the heroes of our own story. And I'll close with a quote that I highlighted because I liked it a lot. He said, we all impose some coherence, some meaning on the chaotic events of our existence. We rummage through the raw images of our memories, selecting, burnishing, erasing. We emerge as the heroes of our stories, allowing us to live with what we've done or haven't done. I like that.
Beautiful.
That's
It was
sick.
good. And I really liked how throughout the book he's throwing these subtle things of how bad imperialism was, and how like none of this shit really needed to happen. And then he concludes kind of at the book that's like, yeah, and all these guys would have been alive had there been just a little less greed in the world. And
Deep
also,
down, all of these guys were a part of something horrible.
yeah,
And they were kind
Yeah.
of bad.
no, but he does make you. He's like, and so it makes you question these guys if they're so willing to just go along with a group that's like, yeah, take this guy we've been on a boat with because he's dark. We're just gonna abandon him. If you're just willing to do that, like that, kind of makes you question yourself and society. So it was a cool thing I wasn't expecting from this book.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be a lot more like In the Heart of the Sea.
Me too.
And it's got more on its mind.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a
A
good way to
lot
put
more
it.
on its mind, yeah.
Yeah. I do love In the Heart of the Sea, though. I'll shout out that book. It's a very exciting read. And it's just a narrative. It doesn't really have anything to say.
Yeah, it's like it's
Yeah.
the book that Moby Dick is based off of, or the story that Moby Dick is based off of, and it is better. And that's weird to say, and it would only work for like a situation like that where it's like, here's the true story, and then here's the thing we made up about it. And I'm like, the thing you made up is nonsense. This story's crazy. But yes, anyways, that's not what
Yeah.
we're talking about.
That's okay. It's a good book.
My favorite line in all of the movie Matilda, which is based on a book, is when Danny DeVito bursts into Matilda's room and he's like, "We're watching TV. What are you doing?" She's like, "I'm reading Moby Dick." He's like, "Moby what?"
Nice. Man, what a treasure. We gotta read a Roald Dahl one of these days.
Yeah.
Anyways, getting back to the wager. Let's do some book facts.
Yes, I love book facts.
Let's talk about facts here. Martin Scorsese. Oh, I love Martin Scorsese. Sorry, I won't talk about it. Martin Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio bought the film rights before the book was even published. So that will be coming out, which is exciting. And that'll be their follow-up to Killers of the Flower Moon, which is another Grann adaptation. I was going to say, DiCaprio, who's he going to play? Is Cheap or Buckley?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. There's only
hope
2
Cheap.
roles that he would.
I think
He'll
so.
probably
I
make
think
himself
probably.
Bulkley because he's a bit more the hero. But I'd love to see him as Cheap.
I want them to make Cheap the hero and just completely do the 180, or just rush him on it and show just the first hour of the movie is one version, the second hour is another version, and the third hour is another
Meets
version.
him out, that'd be cool.
That would be sick. I would love that. But you need
Yeah.
Nolan on that version.
Oh yeah,
Anybody
Yeah.
can do that. He didn't make that up.
he made up
did.
storytelling differently.
He
dare you.
made it up.
Yeah,
You
I
can't
don't-
have a time paradox if you're anyone other than Christopher Nolan. Okay,
How
made up that
dare you?
You seen Memento?
come on. Time went
It's for-
backwards for.
Everybody's too afraid to say what's really true. Inception's like his best movie. Okay.
No.
Actually,
no.
Inception is-
Inception and Interstellar are neck and neck.
Yeah,
Okay, but
yeah.
one of those is higher, and it's not Inception.
You just like it because you have kids. Loser.
Maybe. Interstellar's the
Yeah.
best. I'm like, people who know real movies, people who have seen The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari hate me because I'm like, Interstellar, come on.
Interstellar's
I
the best.
do
the best
hate
movie
when
of all time.
if I ask somebody, "What's your favorite movie?" and they say Interstellar, I'm like, "You've seen one good movie." Like, it's great. It's a great
yeah.
movie.
I
Really?
watch that movie all the time.
It's a good
David
movie. I'm not
Grann-
saying it's not a good movie, but I'm just saying I think
I'm
that
not-
it's. Anybody who says
self-aware
it's their
about this.
when you say it's your favorite movie, I'm like, get a personality. That's just such a safe, boring choice.
Very
Say
safe.
Oppenheimer. That's more fun, at least. At least
True.
it's like, "Are you weirdo? You freak."
Oppenheimer's a bit freakier.
Or say 300, as in that's how long the wager has been buried under the sea. David Grann, we talked
300
about
days?
this. He's
That's
300
crazy.
years.
Oh,
Yeah, I should say the time scale there. David Grann did spend 3 weeks on Wager Island. We talked about this, and he found actual rotted planks from the ship's hull still buried in frozen ground. That's kind of cool, actually. I
that's
do like
really
that.
cool. But I bet he creamed his jeans when he found that shit. Like, I bet he lost his damn mind. He's like, "This is the thing I'm trying to do." Like, I mean, and I would too. To be fair, I would also do that. So I wish I could have seen him do it. Not
Man.
cream it. Doesn't matter.
I think
I
we
wish
know what
I
you
wish
mean.
I wish I could have seen that. That would have been funny. Hey, David, what's going on over there? Nothing.
Nothing.
I
need to
found
go back to my
something. You should come check this out, but let me go back to my tent first, and then you come check this out.
Why are you
Look at
walking
this.
like that? Did you get bit by something? No.
No. I spilled my water.
The poet, Lord Byron, never met his grandfather, but read his journals and was haunted by that, and wrote in Don Juan that his character's hardships were comparative to those related in my granddad's narrative. So that's
Is that-
cool. Inspired some real stuff.
Yeah, is that how
Oh,
you
he-
say Don Juan?
No, you say Juan.
yeah,
I think it's Juan.
Don
This
Juan.
may
I've
be
never heard that.
My dumb
Juana man?
mistake. How do you? I swear.
I could be wrong, but I've never heard anyone pronounce it Don Juan.
If I'm wrong about this, this is going down as me being an absolute idiot.
Sounds
'cause
like
you,
Star Wars shit. Juwan?
Donciation. I think I'm wrong. I'm getting nervous. You've been mispronouncing.
Oh, just ask
Don-
Google to say
okay,
it for you.
Typically
Yeah.
pronounced 2 different ways depending on the context and language. Spanish pronunciation, Don Juan. In this case, the J is pronounced like an H in English. English pronunciation, that doesn't make me feel better. I think I'm wrong.
I think you're wrong.
Lord Byron was English, and it is traditionally pronounced using the English pronunciation Don Juan. My goodness, it got tenuous there, but I'm right.
I think that's stupid.
I think I'm right about this.
There's a reason we beat them in the wars. Remember 1776? Suck it, nerds.
Yeah.
You got beat by a bunch of fucking farmers.
Bunch of farmers.
Man, this Christmas pudding vibe. Should we bring it back? What's that? What's
What's
that? You're eating a boozy rock? How is it? Does it have metal in it? Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
When Mac-
nerds. Can't
Mac,
wait
when-
to go back to England and just kick somebody in the teeth. And they'll fall out because they probably have scurvy.
Yeah, That's not like that's a boats thing.
Yeah, it's a boats thing. You don't get that on land. But when did
It's an
Britain become
island.
cool? When did the
When did
British
Britain-
become cool, according to you?
Austin Powers is the one time.
That's not British. The one English imitation.
What are you talking about? That is Britain.
Austin Powers?
Yeah.
Mike Myers is Canadian.
American.
He's got the Union
It's
Jack
a
on his
parody
car.
of it.
Yeah, that's the only time they're cool.
That's a hot take.
The wager, this
Man.
book did stay on the New York Times bestseller list for 66 weeks, making it one
Too
of the
long.
most successful nonfiction books of 2023.
Good
Nice.
for David
One
Grann.
of that year, it's not of the 2020s.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
No, of the year. It's one of the one of the most successful of a year.
But there's
When
not
you
even
put it that way, it
66
doesn't sound
weeks
that
in a year.
Yeah, that kind of
That doesn't make sense.
people read it. They liked it. New York Times. Wait a second. He works for the New York Times.
Wait,
Hold on. It stayed
I
on the.
think
Oh, I guess
maybe-
it just stayed on the list. In my head, I'm like, it was number
The
one
top?
for 66 weeks. How is that
Like,
not
that
the
doesn't make
most?
sense.
That's insane.
The New Yorker. He works for the New Yorker. That was close.
Nah.
I was like, wait a second.
No,
Wait
see,
a
what
second.
happened was it started out really high up, and then green lights came out and just blew it out of the water. And I was
Just-
like, what are we gonna do?
They're like, damn it, McConaughey.
And
Beautiful
Martin
bastard.
Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio, they already bought their film rights to green lights. So
And
yeah.
McConaughey's not going to be in it, weirdly enough.
Nah, he's gonna be played by an unknown named
Yeah.
Monroe.
McConaughey.
All right, all right, all right.
Perfect. Send
As
that. That's the
in,
audition
he's
tape.
going to be playing Daddy Anson. He's going to be like, I
Yeah.
want all the cannons on the right side. I want them all right.
Yeah.
All right. All the
Now is she
cannons.
gonna run up and down really fast? It's
I
just
said-
Southern. It's not even him. I'm just doing this old Southern man.
He'd
He's
be
like,
so
all
good as Daddy
starboard,
Anson.
all starboard, all
star-
starboard.
hate
Ship
that.
jokes, haha. The free black seaman John Duck
We talked
survived everything. Yeah,
Oh,
that
I
happened.
didn't see that. Sorry. Yeah.
About this.
It's fine. His fate remains unknown, representing what Grann calls the dark silences that empires impose.
And there's a lot of
Say
them.
dark, David.
It's mostly dark silences that empires impose. Ask any native person; they'll tell you all about it.
Just ask anyone, anywhere. Just ask most people who aren't rich.
Yeah, ask anyone who's not a rich bitch head. Stupid.
Every once in a while,
mother.
I do appreciate the dark silence that is indoor plumbing and modern supply
Are you gonna
chains.
devil's advocate us
Damn,
while
you're
we're
right.
high roading the
Yeah,
the
come
British
on, man,
Empire?
let us-
You're right, and I'm right. Okay,
Everyone
Yeah,
can be
you're right.
right.
we're all
Everybody's
right.
right.
The only
Alright.
Be all
person
right.
who was wrong, John
All
Duck,
right.
for getting on that ship.
No, the only person that was wrong is apparently cheap. Because
Apparently cheap.
fuck that guy, according to
Because
all
Bobby
of
wrote a
them.
whole book about it.
Basically, moral of the story: fuck that guy. Well, another book in the books. Thank you, David Grann. I did enjoy the book. What did you guys think of it? What,
Thought it was
like
great.
book in one word?
Really, really good. Fascinating.
That was 3
3
words, but
words.
I'm
Good job.
gonna
I
let
think
it
that's-
go.
Nope, that's all of our words. Really, really good.
Yeah,
Damn it.
that's the 3 words for the 3 of us. Incredible. Read
Thank
it
you.
yourself. I would say it's a fun
Yeah, read it
read.
yourself. I mean, if you want to, if the movie's coming out and you're like, let me get into this because you're a nerd, do it. Yeah, read it.
I don't know if the movie's going to come out anytime soon. I mean,
You never know.
I don't know.
There's going to be a
They got to
second Once
make
Upon
the
a Time in
American
Hollywood.
Kingpin movie.
What's-
Scorsese bought the rights to that one.
Did he make-
too.
Oh,
Is
okay.
he
So
just-
he's going to
is
be
he
just as
like
disappointed.
a whale shark and he's just opening his mouth and just taking in every
Yeah.
single nonfiction
Really?
book.
But you know what
Yeah.
the first one he started with, which is crazy? The story of
Godfather.
Jesus.
What?
That's not the
He
first
did?
one.
That's Mel
Well, is it-
Gibson. What are you
Did
talking
he
about?
buy the? Well, he did a book
No,
about. He did the Last Temptation of Christ.
Yeah, the last
but
I
that was like his
Mm.
third or fourth movie.
I know, but that's a pretty bold to start relatively
didn't-
start your career there.
Didn't really put our boy Jesus in the best light, though.
It wasn't the
if I
worst though, because
understand right.
Scorsese's a Catholic.
Yeah,
So-
I guess it was an. Yeah.
I think
maybe
it was
we'll
an
just-
interesting
we'll-
adaptation. Fun fact about that one that I've heard is that it was hard to have Willem Dafoe in there, in the loincloth because his dong is so big. So
It's funny
I
because
have heard that.
that trivia fact gets attached to every movie that he's in.
yeah, it's probably not even that movie.
They're like in
'Cause I've heard that
Spider-Man,
for,
they
like,
had to
3
make
other
the
movies.
suit again.
They had to make the suit a little bigger because Willem Dafoe has a big old hanger, a knockdown hanger.
The Green Goblin
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Well, follow us.
he had his own glider he was flying on.
They had to get 2 gliders. That's
They
crazy.
almost changed it to a pogo stick just because they figured that'd be cheaper for the budget.
Put another turbine on that glider. We are carrying a little extra girth here, Willem
Yeah.
Dafoe. Well, follow
Confusing
us on Spotify.
Spider-Man.
Hey, listen there, Spider-Man. I got a huge
Spider-Man. Back to formula.
Back to I'm something of a scientist myself. Have you seen my
Myself.
penis? It's huge.
Well, follow
You
us
killed
on
my
Spotify. I don't know how I can do my
Don't
best
tell Harry.
more. I can't. My
Don't tell
best
Harry.
is the best.
Don't tell
I
Harry
can
as he's
do.
bleeding out.
Oh,
That's so. I love that movie so much. Yeah, I feel like if I was in high school with Willem Dafoe, I would have made fun of him.
Yeah, it's confusingly large. You'd see
No,
it and
not
just be
because
like,
of
it's
his
too big for how
penis,
big
just-
your body is.
He's just kind of a weird guy. I would have been like, "What's your deal,
He's my
Willem?"
favorite. I love him.
He's the
just sent
best.
Tiff just sent me this thing about he left the U.S. and just like lives on a llama farm in like Italy with a
Yes.
huge freaking third arm.
Yeah, the Tolkien got mistranslated because Gandalf's giant sword is actually called Duffo Hammer.
Faux hammer,
Oh no!
Got him,
and it's
dude.
got Willem's face
Fucking-
on it, doing a Green Goblin smile.
Well, follow us on Spotify, Apple, Audible, everywhere there are podcasts. Just follow us on all of those. Leave a comment if you want to. Like, you can for fun if you'd like. And we don't really care, because the algorithm doesn't control us. We control ourselves.
I don't care
We are-
anymore.
Do you?
Yeah, we don't
Do you?
follow
Are
the
you guys
rules.
with me? I want to make sure
Yeah.
before I. Yeah.
Yeah, double
We're
down.
agents of our own free will.
Not even chaos. There's not a word for what we do.
Yeah, it hasn't
But
been
if you can
invented
like
yet.
it somewhere,
If you could like it and share with your friends and
Yeah,
comment,
a lot.
and please love us because
For
we
the
need
love.
attention.
You mean the
My
world to
goodness.
us, but we could not give a shit.
I
So-
don't care. Please
Kyle, you
do
picked this book. Give us some parting advice from your wisdom.
My
Dig deep.
wisdom. The whole time I read this, I'm just like, I'm so damn happy I'm not on a boat in the 1700s and that I'll never have to experience that because
So that's your advice.
my advice is if you go back on time, stay away from boats.